And so then you got home, and yeah, I remember, people ask me about, like, the funerals of my guys, but I wasn't ever there because I was, we were still deployed. But I know at this point you were. And I know that's I can't even imagine for you what that process was like.
It was shame. The way Mikey passed, it's one of the most intimate ways, like, brothers can pass with one another. It's, when we're out there in the conduct of a fight, a guy gets shot laying down fire. It's selfless. But when somebody makes a sacrifice by jumping on a grenade, that is a message of, hey, this is my gift to you. Keep my memory alive and live well. But to the guy that is saved, all you feel is shame. And I know you felt these same sort of feelings as, ultimately you're responsible for these guys. And I think we all conducted our career with, God help me if there isn't anything I could have done in the planning and risk mitigation and preparation for this mission or during the conduct of the mission that brings my guys home, then I am wrong, and that is on me. And so to come home, even though everyone was so welcoming and gracious and caring, it's just, you feel this like just blanket of shame. And funny enough, when they had these buses waiting for us at some San Diego airport, because remember it was some private jet that took us from Bethesda to San Diego, and so they loaded us up on a bus and then straight to Balboa, and my ex-wife and my daughter were waiting there, and my daughter's 2 at the time, but she would not come to me. They had a little sign, "Welcome home, Daddy," and my ex-wife kept trying to, because I'm still on a stretcher, tried to keep giving my daughter to me, and she was clinging on to my ex, would not come to me, and it was just even that, like, I remember that so vividly, and I think in a subtle way, like, I held that against my daughter for a short while. Is like, it was almost like a shunning, like she knew what happened and she was like shunning me. Bottom line, she was scared. Yeah.
Bottom line, she's a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen her dad in 6 months and is going like, "Hey, I'm used to being with Mom."
But just being at the funeral and everything, and just looking at all, watching all the SEALs there to celebrate Mikey's life. It felt like the eyes were on me too. And that's a selfish feeling. Hey, this isn't about you whatsoever. But it was just this, like, how could I let that happen? And why didn't you jump on the grenade? Like, how could you not get there in time? Are you slow? Could you not assess? What, are you stupid? And I still don't have a good answer for that, But what really just, we talked about this, is like, somebody needs to hold me accountable. That's how I felt. I'm like, somebody needs to hold me accountable. And, the boys picked me up for the funeral. And of course, me and the other guy pack up the wheelchairs, throw them in the back of a Suburban. And when we get to the mass prior to the funeral, Miss Monsoor is waiting. And, I'm ready to own what had happened. And before, I could even get the words out, she wraps her arms around the other SEAL and I and says, "I'm so happy you are home. Thank you for being with my son." And at that point, you're like, okay, I have no idea what to say. You just totally threw me off my game. Like, you should be upset. You just lost your son, and you are thanking me for being with your son, and you're telling me you are so happy that I'm home. I mean, talk about, like, it felt like the ultimate mind game. But that is just a testament of the family that Mikey came from. And for the audience, Mikey was a Southern California kid. Again, pretty big kid, about 6'2", probably about 210, dry sense of humor, and was a devout Catholic. And the family's still fun. I don't want you to think of this like strict religious family. They are a fun family, but they're awesome, resolute in their beliefs. Yep. And they're from Southern California, and they're the most selfless family I've ever met. And when you meet them and you spend time with them, you quickly realize where Mikey got it. And he went to every mass at Corregidor. And when I say mass, it's in a bombed-out building with some military priest and about 5 people, one of which is Mikey, passing out communion. And he had faith. And getting to know the family was actually very easy after that. But with time, as time went on, you begin to feel like you're a reminder of their son and not the best light. And so I think over time, I pulled away from the family to give them their rest, because at some point they have to put it down and move on with their lives. And I don't know if that's the right call, and I still struggle with that today. But I mean, I love the family. Even there was a sense of guilt from my parents when they met their parents, just how good of people they are. And you feel like, why their son and not ours? My parents are thankful. Don't get me wrong. They are extremely grateful. But there was a sense of guilt throughout our entire family that we get to move on, and their family lives with this burden, much like we do, for the rest of their lives.
Well, I can tell you that when you said it's a reminder, not in a good way, I would actually dispute that with you, and I promise you that it's a man. They love hearing from you and talking to you, and anyone. Same with Mark. Same with Ryan. Same with all of our friends that have fallen. If you can go and tell a story that they haven't heard before, or tell a story that they've heard 100 times before, it's worth it. It's worth it.